Yep.
We should probably do that.
Sure.
Okay, so it is now 6:03 PM on November 6th, and I'm going to call the meeting to order. Stephanie, may we have certification of quorum and proof of notice, please?
Yes, we do have a quorum. We have all 5 board members present. 4 of them are in person, 1 is online. And I do certify that public notice of this meeting was posted 48 hours in advance in accordance with Florida Statute 720. Thank you.
Thanks, Stephanie. First item on the agenda is the approval of the past board minute meetings. May I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion by the board? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next item on the agenda is opening remarks. Neil.
Okay, the agenda item is code of conduct. As was mentioned several times last night at the Meet the Candidates events, there is a discord in the community. And some of this may be due to the heightened emotions related to the up and coming elections. But whatever the cause, we need to find a way forward and be good neighbours. As a board, it's important that we remind residents of the standards of behaviour and community values that we should all aspire to. A previous board created a vision, mission and community values statement, which Marilyn referred to last night, together with a code of conduct policy as a guide to residents on how we should behave and treat our neighbours. As we have a lot of new residents, many of you may not have seen or heard about the mission statement that was created 4 years ago. So I'd like to share this with you all. The vision statement: we envision a community of neighbours working together, private and voluntary association to help maintain one of the most desirable places to live in Central Florida, while enjoying the benefits of family and friends to achieve a higher quality of life and increasing property values. The mission was, our mission is to enhance the quality of life in our neighbourhood through management of common areas, enforcement of rules and covenants, support of initiatives that strengthen bonds among residents, and investment in capital improvements that benefit the greater good. And then lastly, the community values. In fulfilling our mission and achieving our vision, we value diversity, honesty and fairness, integrity and respect, cooperation and participation, common sense and neighbourliness in all of our actions. That was created shortly after the turnover from Bernard, and I think these values hold true today. We need to embrace them going forward to bring the community together. The Code of Conduct policy itself outlines this in more detail, but effectively stresses the same values of good neighbourliness, tolerance, kindness, and always behaving in a respectful manner. This policy document is available on Connect for anybody to review it. Just closing, we should all try to meet these standards going forward. Thank you.
Thanks, Neil. Next item on the agenda is financial report. John, Benny.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to be doing the recap of last month. If we want to go to the next slide. So we ended the month with 1.1 million in the operating accounts, and that is trending favorably compared to last year. We are almost double the amount of cash that we have from an operating standpoint compared to September of last year. Reserves were also trending favorably. We're in a better position than we were in last year. And we do keep any excess funds in a money market account that's getting us around 4% interest. So anything that we're not using, we are making interest income on. So let's go ahead and go to the next slide. Next slide is the golf shop. As you can see here, we beat the budget by about $10,000. In the merchandise, we had, some accounts that were higher, like accessories, golf balls, and gloves. We did miss some headwear, shoes, ladies and men's apparel. And then we beat the budget for equipment. So overall, we basically hit the budget. I mean, at $368 over, we can just call that even. In terms of swing revenue, we've done very, very well. With greens fees, was a much better month than we had budgeted. We're at 103,000 compared to just shy of 90,000 for the budget. We're doing a little bit less than we expected with annual pass holders and the annual trail fees. But the overage in green fees was enough that it basically made it where we're meeting the budget by 10,000. Rental sets also have done very well. We only had budgeted around 1,700 and we've done 3,750, so almost $4,000 in rental sets. I think that was really a good avenue for revenue for the community. Moving on to the Golf Grill, so we'll do the next slide. Golf Grill, we did miss our revenue mark a little bit. We were just shy of the target, so we came in right under 40,000. We had budgeted 42,000. But we have offset that with the COGS. We are keeping that in line. We had $15,000, almost 16 budgeted for COGS, but we really only spent 10, so that's great. Same thing with payroll. We've done a really good job with the controllables at the Golf Grill, and operating expenses have been kept low. So even though we did have a little bit of a loss, it was $829. That is still better than what we had budgeted. For September, we had a $10,000 loss budgeted, and so we beat that by about $9,600. Moving on to the Plaza Restaurant. So here, we did miss some revenue targets. Our main driver was the unused food credit, which really does highlight the importance of that food credit and how it acts as a safety net for us, right? So because of that, we did beat the budget by just we missed the budget by 831, but it's such a small number, we can say we got pretty much to it. In terms of COGS, we are a little bit over the cost of goods sold, and that is definitely indicative of the increased food prices that we've all seen. I mean, we've all seen it at the grocery store. You know, the price of everything, beef is through the roof. Payroll, though, that is something that we have kept under control, so we're about $6,100 for the month under what we had budgeted for payroll, so that's always good, especially when we're not meeting those revenue targets. And we did have a prior year expense adjustment, so we sent some stuff to last year as per the audit. So that puts us at about a $9,300 profit for a month, and we did have a budgeted loss for September, as that is, you know, the shoulder season. We're still not quite at the season yet, so we did have that budgeted at a loss of 7,300, but we beat it almost by 17%, right? We came in at a positive 9,300. So that's it for me. I'm going to pass it on to John McTan. We do have the questions at the end, but I would have first to this slide.
It doesn't matter. We need to wait till the end.
Right, but I'll be happy to answer it
Yeah.
when the public, and we'll even pull up the slide again.
All right, thank you, Benny. Stephanie, next slide. So I'm gonna take us through a little bit of a quick snapshot of the third quarter as a whole. Just quickly looking at some of the quick statistics, looking at Golf Grill. We came in just shy of our revenue base, so we came in at about 90% of our expected revenue. You do have to remember that the third quarter, though, is normally our slowest season. We're talking about you know, summer months when it's really hot, so tea times and things like that. Activity at the golf course is traditionally down in the third quarter. So the fact that we, you know, are coming close to the budget with pace is pretty good. And mean, today was a perfect example. If we were out on the course was packed, so we're starting to see that season turn back around as the temperatures cool down. Golf is happening, throughout the entire day. Unfortunately, the clocks did flip, so now it does get darker sooner, so our golf day is a little bit shorter. But looking at our clocks for the third quarter at the Golf Grill, we came in at 40%. Switching over to the Plaza, the Plaza actually had a great quarter for the third quarter. We came in above our overall revenue when factoring in all 3 months. I would probably go on a limb and say that's probably the first time we've done that in a very long time. So, just quickly looking at that, COGS came in at an average of 38% across all the categories. Jumping over to golf swing revenue, comparing 2024 to 2025 third quarter, we saw a 21% increase in revenue from this period in 25 compared to the same period in 24. And then at the golf shop, same with second quarter, our spend at the golf shop is down compared to last year. So I don't know if that's just everybody stocked up already for things as we get ready for the winter season. I know we've sold out of most of our ladies sweaters already that we ordered for the fall. So hopefully we'll see that trend kind of change a little bit, but this is the second quarter in a row that the golf shop year over year comparison is down compared to year over year. Looking at year to date, so what was the next slide? Sorry, Stephanie. What I did was I went in and broke down each tier. As you know, with the budget being passed, this is a pretty complex budget. There's a total of 10 tiers in the budget. So what I did was I did go back and review each tier so you can see kind of where we're at. So actual to budget and then our variance. So ARVA is most of our common areas, which include streets and things like that. So we're ahead of budget, but that is because of the auxiliary fees that we don't budget for. But it's things like late fees, income violation, income, that's all things that vary from year to year. So there's never a line item budget put in for those. But those help drive revenue for the association. And then on ARA, you can see from the expense standpoint, we're doing a good job of controlling our expenses. So we're making sure that we're, vendor management, we're looking at the best cost that we can get for the association across all of our vendors. So we're controlling what we can control as the manager company, and that's the expenses across the board. So if we look at PRA is the building here of the plaza. It does not include the restaurant. So looking at PRA, we are a little under budget or over budget, I'm sorry, and that is primarily driven by our activities. We're over budget so far for activities, and then our cable, phone, and internet. So the reason why we're over budget this year is we did do a consolidation of the tiers for the cable, phone, and internet. So in years past, it was spread out amongst all of the tiers. This year we've consolidated it, but the budget had already been approved, so that line item is going to show it being over budget, but it is accounted for across some of the other tiers. And then everybody knows about the pool repairs that we have here at the plaza. Every month we're popping 5 or 6 holes into the pool because of the issues that we're having there. So that's an expense that this happens with it. We did have the pool tested a couple months ago for the 558 effect, so that all kind of factors into that. Jumping over to the golf grill, why we did miss our food revenue for the year. Again, so far year to date, we did have a really strong quarter 1 and 2. It's again that third quarter that really kind of took that trend away from us because it's a slower time at the golf course. However, the food miss was made up for in liquor sales and any bev. And then again, you can see in the bottom corner our expenses. We are controlling expenses down there at the golf grill. So as business comes down, obviously our food ordering slows down. We don't have a lot of freezer space, so all of that kind of slows down with that. So we would expect that trend to be there for us to be below our expenses. Jumping over to the plaza, unfortunately, why we had a strong third quarter at the plaza, annually through all 3 quarters, we have missed our revenue projections on all of our categories. But that is offset by the non-use credit. So every month, those homeowners who have elected to do the $75 monthly, if they don't use it, it's lost. So that kind of helps to offset that gap a little bit in some of the revenue misses. And then as you can see as well, our controls in our expenses, particularly our COGS, we're doing a good job of, again, controlling what we can control and making sure that we're in line with our expense controls. The next one we jump over to is golf operations. This is not golf maintenance. So as Benny had mentioned, for the month of September, green fees have been strong, and green fees have been our biggest driving force for the additional revenue in 2025 so far. Quarters. You can see we had budgeted for we budgeted 1.2 and we're at 1.5 million in green fees. So it continues to be a strong program for us. Our rental clubs is also one of our strongest programs. Through the 3 quarters, we budgeted just shy of 25 and we're at 51,000. So the decision to invest some money last September, we spent about 20,000 in all new rental clubs. We increased the price of the rental clubs, and that seems to be our biggest expense story. As that's one of our biggest driving factors for the additional revenue coming into the golf swing revenue. And then we also have our expense controls again. So far across all of the tiers, we're doing a good job of controlling our expenses. As we get into the fourth quarter, as we get into the member season, we do expect expenses to go up a little bit. I know ordering more range balls and just getting the course ready for members. We do have our big tournament this weekend and member, so things do pick up here a little bit at the golf course for us. But overall, very healthy revenue coming in through the year so far, and as well as our expense controls. GRA is our golf maintenance. So this, obviously, there's no revenue that comes in from golf maintenance. So all of the revenue that is represented here is in the form of the homeowner's assessments. Again, strong controls here. As you can see through the year, we were budgeted to spend 1.4 million, and we've come in at 1.35. So again, continuing our cost controls. Ethan did a good job working with a lot of our vendors to get us on contracts for our fertilizers and things like that. We contracted with a new vendor for sand. So we're trying to make sure, again, vendor management is part of our job as a management company, and we're making sure that we're doing that. So you can see, again, strong cost controls that are going in place there. And at this point, most of the course maintenance has been completed, right? So there's no major expenses for verification or anything coming up to close out the year. Those numbers are all going to be here already into the expense category. So not a big expense coming up, anticipated expense coming up for the golf course, besides the general maintenance and getting ready for the winter season. As things kind of cool off and grass slowly starts to die out. That is, the villas. So again, just a slide to kind of highlight the villa revenue and expenses. Same thing. We are under budget in our expense category. So again, controlling what we can as the management company to make sure that expenses are in line. And then the next slide covers our lots. So the lots are pretty simple. The only expense they have is the landscaping. So homeowners assessments offset to basically a net of 0 for each of the lots. With rounding on the financials, it does give you that $1 here, the $1 there, but that's just a rounding. So the lots really just have the landscape, and then the homeowners assessments are paid directly covering those lots. So that covers my review for the year to date. So I'm going to hand this back over to Stephanie. Or to James, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go back. One more slide. So what I did, I apologize. What I did was on the summary page is I took all the tiers and combined them. So you can see that our NOI for the year to the first 3 quarters, we were projected to have a loss of $50,000, and we actually have revenue or NOI of $496,000. So we're doing really well. Again, golf being the driver behind that, uptick in the third quarter in the plaza. So whatever we are doing in the third quarter, let's replicate that for the fourth quarter and into 2026. But overall, our performance continues to trend positively with revenues exceeding budget across our tiers. And then obviously our expense control management is paying off because we are coming in under budget for our expense control. Okay?
Thanks, John. Any questions by the board? Alan? Sorry?
Alan has no question.
Excellent. All right, consent agenda. Next item on the agenda is new business, which is accounts being recommended for filing. Or
For
cover,
hearing.
hearing.
Yeah.
All right, I get that always wrong.
So we do have 3 accounts on the agenda that are being recommended for hearing. I do apologize, the date of the hearing on the agenda is incorrect because that's when this was on the agenda for a few days ago. So the hearing was scheduled for November 19th. However, that would not provide the correct 14-day notice. I do have agreement that we can hold a covenants hearing on November 25th. So that is the date that we are recommending hearing for these 3 accounts.
That's 2 days before Thanksgiving.
I know.
When you say we have agreement, we're talking with the covenants.
The majority of the covenant committee in agreement, yeah.
Okay,
Or
can we move it back a little deeper? Because like, I mean, I'm not sure if homeowners might be traveling that week. We move that back to be December 8th, I'm assuming would be the following week or the 2 weeks later.
it would have to be a little after that, yeah.
So instead of November 25th, which is always on a Tuesday, right? So can we go to the,
It's on a third, it's always on a Wednesday usually.
so what's the Wednesday of that week?
December 3rd or December 10th?
So it can't be the 3rd.
Can't,
Can't be the 3rd.
can't really be the 10th, it could be the following, it can't be the following.
Okay, so where are we talking?
Can we just approve that it goes to a future hearing with the date?
The day two
determined?
TBD based on the availability of.
Yes, if I have to confirm the date, I have to confirm the date with the hearing committee.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then given that we're in the holiday season, if a homeowner does have an issue because of travel, we do have to be a little bit flexible.
Understood.
Gotcha. Okay, so then we have 3 items for that. Do I have a motion? Second,
Second.
any questions by the board?
Sorry, Cynthia, they do what they have to do, or if you just go.
Yes, if they correct the violation before the hearing is happens, they won't go to hearing.
What about that trader? Oh, it's gone.
It's already been moved?
I'll have them.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's right.
it'll be removed.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
All right, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so the next item on the agenda is the committee appointments. That's Stephanie.
Yes. We do have 3 open spots on committees right now. We have 2 spots on the Architectural Review Committee. And we have 1 spot on the Community Enhancement Committee. We did receive several applications for these committees. 1 person that applied is actually not a homeowner, unfortunately. So as of right now, they're not able to serve on a committee. But the recommendations that I put in place were sent to the board via email. Would you like me to list them?
Sure.
Sure, okay. So we're recommending Nancy Vitale and Tina London to serve on the Architectural Review Committee and Craig Caldwell for the Community Enhancement Committee.
Okay, thanks, Stephanie. And the term dates are as listed in our packet, folks.
Yes, so for the ARC positions, they will both fill the terms that end on January 1st of 2028. And for the community enhancement spot, they will be filling a term that ends on January 1st, 2027.
Do we have a motion?
I vote.
I'll second. Any discussion by the board? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, next item on the agenda is Wesco Turf. Ethan.
Wanna- I don't know, is there a way to maybe come this way? There you go.
All right, our major equipment package, for our mowers that have most of the highest hours that we use daily is coming up for a 48-month rollover. The,
I have it here.
it was,
Yeah.
okay, so the last time we had this signed, was
2021.
was June of 2021. Toro was having some complications with delays of getting equipment either made, manufactured, delivered. It was COVID or what the delays were, but we didn't actually get that until June. The way that they delivered it, they had delivered two separate packages, which is at least 102, at least 103. One was delivered in June and the other one was in October. So we were looking to combine those together, do one package on that one. The second package, which is only 2 years old right now, we had to split that up due to when we built the golf course in 2012. We only needed equipment to maintain 12 holes. And then 2014, we needed the additional smaller lease for the opening of 2015, so we could be able to maintain the entire golf course. That is why there is a split lease on that. The 102 and 103 lease, the reason why that is split because they had delays last year or that in 2022 deliveries. Wesco is. We've only dealt with them or only through the years. We've purchased most of the low hour equipment. You guys now own that. A lot of that equipment only hooks up to Toro equipment for the cutters for greens, tees, fairways, stuff like that. So if we were to change or go a different direction, we'd have to figure all that stuff. Plus our inventory in our Toro parts room is massive. We have 12 years of spare parts. Change that out. A lot of money. Wesco service on their equipment is next day delivery for everything. Service people everywhere, minimum downtime. Our equipment's never down for 24 hours. Dion is a master Toro mechanic. I mean, when Toro comes to our shop, they love coming to our shop because they see how nicely it is, how they can maintained. And, so we call them, they come right out to us. So on this new lease, we will be getting the use of one Groundsmaster, which is a rotary 3-deck mower, free for the 4-year lease, no charge. We'll also be getting a extended 2-year warranty, which covers the entire equipment package for all 4 years, warranty wise. The total of both those combined is $86,958 we'd be saving. So the price has increased, but that value, that is what they recommend. First year I did it, last time I did it in 2021, that was signed by the president of Lennar, HOA president. As long as it's budgeted in an account, that is why this in 2021 was signed like that and delivered differently like that. Any questions?
Thanks, Ethan, for that. And this increase in the lease has been built into the 2026 budget
I believe so, yes. Next year.
for next year.
Starting. This lease had started June or July.
We're gonna try to push it back to October to combine them together.
Combine them.
Yeah, we're waiting on Alan's final.
I do wanna add,
We really need another mic.
No, they're ordered.
I do want to add that we did reach out to Huntington and ask them about what the rate would be. Unfortunately, they cannot commit to a rate until we order the equipment, right? Well, things, it changes up and down, right? If there's some sort of crazy rate change, then they can't commit to that until we're ready. But we could only assume that the lease payment will be similar to what we've already been paying, since we are going for similar equipment.
Go bypass it. So are you saying that in this, we got interest on top of this 20K, or is 20K have some?
Will be interesting. That's they,
Right, because there's financing, we're financing.
the finance. If we want to lock in the equipment, then we'll know what the finance cost.
Because we're going from 14 to 20 on a monthly basis. And is that 14 interest in or interest out?
Current payment includes the finance.
So we're going 14 to 20 plus interest. Do we know what our purchase is on our existing equipment? To buy it out?
No, so in the current contract, there's a clause in there that we can buy it at fair market value, but the fair market value was not present in the contract. They would have to come out and evaluate the equipment, if we put a fair market price on it, then we would have to see what the buyout. But we do have a chance to buy the current equipment at fair market value.
Okay, because on some of this stuff, like if we take, and excuse my ignorance, I don't know what some of this is.
That's okay.
Right, but I'm looking at something that's costing $126,000 for however many units that is too. We're gonna pay $2,500 a month for 48 months. Kind of working out that we're paying $120 for 126 over the 48 months. And so
5 years, 60.
it says 48 there.
It's 48, oh. Okay. Previous one was 5 years.
So if we take 20, so just in orders of
Yeah.
magnitude, this is a little over $1 million bucks. So
That doesn't look right. Math is wrong.
is the math wrong?
The one you just highlighted, 25, 21,
If we take that, we times that by 48, what number?
21,000.
121, and it's 126 if we buy it, plus the 121, the 121 is plus interest. Because the interest isn't baked into that 2,500.
Can we have some clarity on that, John?
Sorry, what was that?
On the approximate monthly payment, does that include interest?
It's not. That's just the cost of the equipment.
And then we don't know what the is of this stuff at the end of 48 months.
Right.
Do we get the residual?
Again, we would just have to let them know of our intent in the current contract, that we want to get a fair market value valuation done of what the equipment would be at, and then they would throw a number at us, and then we could decide to buy it.
Okay, that's for the existing stuff, and then, like, is that stuff any, like, do we need to change this, or is our current stuff, could we go?
So this is the high hour stuff that is used daily. At the end of the 48-month lease,
So you're over like the 3,500 hours for the.
we're gonna be very close to it, yes, that's.
Gotcha.
No.
Okay,
So. If we can purchase that equipment being that used, we're just gonna have problems down the road.
any other questions? Alan?
Yeah, so just, John, can you just, or Benny, can you just confirm? Because I thought that 20,321 included, like, that was gonna be the estimated lease payments. Now, I know the actual interest rate won't be determined until we take delivery or close to it, but just confirm so that we're talking apples to apples. And James, just it actually rounds close to 15. It's 14,854 for the current leases that we pay under 102 and 103. And then this new one, again, depending on if interest is or not in there, is 20,321. Again, if interest is in that, it's an estimate based on current rates versus what the rates might be, whether it's June or next October when we take delivery. And obviously that's probably pretty standard practice because I'm sure the leasing company doesn't want to take interest rate risk to lock in now. And if rates go way up, they're on the hook for that. You know, and we're not going to get into hedging or any of that kind of stuff. So I think the interest rate, but I would just want to confirm that that 2321 is, doesn't assume some level of interest payments currently. And then the other thing too, I think you just covered a little bit, but we get 900 hours per year. So if our equipment has gone over that or will go over that, we want to either negotiate now before we sign anything to ensure that we don't get charged overage fees. Or if it's so far over, you know, you might get a $10,000 overage fee because it's at 1,200 hours a year. You might be better off just buying the equipment, even if you lease almost the same thing, just to have it, you know, rather than pay 10,000 for an overage on a lease. If it costs you 12,000 to just buy it outright, that would be a simple no-brainer kind of thing to do. So I think we just have to do a little bit of that and understand each piece of equipment. I think there's 26 items in there, a couple of blowers, which are probably backpacks, but 24 big ticket items, you know, mowers and rollers and stuff. So I think we just want to know, like, where do they stand in hours compared to the 900 that's allowed? Because if it's way under, then we probably negotiating leverage there, maybe a little bit less, but they're going to get back a piece of equipment that's more valuable than it should be. If we're way over, we're going to get charged for that, I would assume, unless we can roll it into, you know, kind of negotiate, hey, don't charge us when we sign up for this new equipment.
How long is, so you're saying we don't need this until October? When do we have to give the green light for this? Because like, it sounded, maybe there might be some questions.
The current proposal expires on November 27th, I believe.
Correct.
26th.
And I know from past experience, lead time was long. I mean, 7, 9 months. I mean, it might be better now, but
Already expired.
But mine says expiry of November 1.
One, it says on this one, yeah. Year.
What do you all think?
Trying to lock us in now in case prices change, by the time negative comes around, some good sales, so they're trying to get us to. Not now, a price increase.
You think?
That's, there's a base of that, that's it.
Yes, I'd be interested. Sorry, I'd be interested in learning what the cost would be to buy what we have today. And do a comparative that.
If we went into this and we were gonna buy this or lease this equipment, and we decided that maybe we were gonna commit to buying it 4 years hence, would that change your maintenance of this stuff? So we could extend it out if we knew if we had the brand new today, we lease it for the 4 years. And then we know in whatever that is, 2030, that we're gonna make a purchase. Would we change the way we maintain it or no? Or is it just, once it hits 3,500 hours, we have?
It won't change.
no change?
Change. We have to stay within their spec of oil, hydraulic, all their operating specs. We have to stay through the 48.
So I think we're agreeing that we want the equipment, we just wanna understand the financing side of it. So is it, the four of us up here, I don't know if you can see us out, we're nodding, like, is that where you're at too, that we're gonna need and want the equipment, we just need to get a better idea of these numbers. And I don't know how to get the interest rate. Yeah, but is it depending on what the rate is, like, we can borrow, we can pay, almost pay cash. Yeah, I agree. So having said that, do we want to defer this item? 'Cause it's what it seems to me that we're headed to.
Yes, I would agree.
Right, now, recognize if this is gonna put you in a spot where we're gonna run out of the equipment, we can call an additional meeting whenever you need it, right? Because that's not our intention is just understand the financing side of it. Right? You all agree? Okay, so then, having said that, I guess I'll make the motion to defer West Coast Turf contract.
Just table it.
Table it, yeah. All in agreement? Aye.
And James, just on that, what is the deliverable we need from Ethan or John or Benny? As far as, like, what I picture it is the equipment, show us the hours it has, so we know how much it compares to the contract, 900 per year. Ideally get a fair market value quote, possibly. But I don't know if that requires somebody to come out, right? Because you know,
And the interest rate, Alan, we need to know what the interest rate is gonna be.
The bank will tell you the equipment.
So
30
I
years.
think what Alan's saying is what's the fair market value of the current stuff for us to make that acquisition? And if we so go that route, and then if we don't go that route, we need to kind of butt this down a little bit on where we're gonna be. Find out on our worst case scenario, what would be if we took a loan from our bank on it. And then at that point, now we know what the upper number is on the finance. And then if the lease comes in cheaper, we just spin to that, if not, the other direction. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
and the chat,
If you did buy finance, then we own the asset.
I got it.
So at 3,500 hours, not necessarily. So that might definitely be what we're looking at for the longer term.
Right, and that's why in the current stuff, problem is what Ethan's saying is,
Oh, sorry.
sorry. So the problem, I think, is what you're saying is we're gonna bump into the 3,500, which is gonna put us into a potential problem with that, so. But if our fair market value on the current stuff makes sense to make that acquisition, it might be the Band-Aid to push this for 2 years and try and take it, okay. Does that make sense? I think you know what we're looking for?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah, I mean, I think that the challenge, James, is gonna be even for a bank to provide us what the financing would be in the future. I mean, they can provide it today, right? But we also can't we don't have the capacity to borrow $1 million. I guess the equipment might be collateral, so maybe it wouldn't be an issue to buy the equipment outright, but yeah, I think we just have to look at that carefully. We have to turn it around pretty quickly, right? Because there's lead time, plus Ethan needs to get an answer which way he's going.
yeah, it sounds like we got a busy couple of weeks on this.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ethan. Thank you. Okay. Moving on to the next agenda item, which is the holiday golf cart parade. Okay, so the holiday golf cart parade, that was brought out in the July calendar for the dates to hold. We have now gone, whatever it is, 4 or 5 months, and the date's changed. I did not change the date. I had no knowledge of the date changing. But here we are, 12 months after last year. People made travel arrangements based on the 20th, and now we've moved it to the 13th. I believe it's the 13th. So I think we need to have a discussion on this because maybe the 20th is not the best date going forward. Maybe it does need to be set as the second Saturday of the month of December, but that's future. We need to deal with 2025 right now. So I'm interested in what everyone else's view is on this.
I guess my view is it's only 5 weeks away. Change the date. Seems a bit short notice for people. We've already made arrangements to have friends and family come in. So now change the date.
No, I would agree. I think we need to keep it the way it's been advertised, but I would also like at the same time make a motion that from here forward, it's the second Saturday, December.
And I think in previous times, the board, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know when I was on the beautification team, a calendar used to come out in January, and all the dates for the community events, whether they be golf, members, meetings, events, they were all there, and they were there, they were concrete. And I think it wasn't done this year, and I think it really should be. But I don't mind what date it is. I'm going to be here both, but it's really as well. It's the date that's on the flyer. That's the date it's going to have to stay. But I think we need to make a motion, whoever, or not make a motion, but make a note that the incoming board needs to sit down and dates need to be put in place for the whole year. Golf dates, member, gentlemen's invitation, companies, all that. And then also be meeting as well as activities like the golf cart parade, trunk or treat and all that type of stuff.
Okay. Alan, do you have anything to add?
No, I think you guys said it all. I mean, I suppose frustrating that we ran into this issue last year and I thought we had solved it and we didn't.
So quickly, Ron did make a motion. So do we have a second to that motion?
The motion was going forward, starting in 2026.
Yeah, his motion is that moving forward, it's always the second Saturday of December. Any second? Okay.
Any discussion on that by the board? All in favor? Aye. Okay, so with that one done, now let's deal with 2025. So now I'm gonna make the motion that the holiday golf cart parade be on December 20th, 2025. We have a second.
Who made the motion?
I did.
And Liesel second.
Liesel second. Any discussion by the board? All in favor? Aye. Okay. Next item on the agenda is the New Year's Eve event. I'm assuming that was New Year's Eve event at golf. Debbie.
So during the September 29th board meeting, the board had approved the Plaza New Year's Eve party and had asked for further information on breakdowns for the golf party. The cost at the time had been pretty high for both events. We were able to make several adjustments to the New Year's Eve plans that have resulted in notable cost savings. Adam was able to connect with a few vendors he has successfully worked with in the past and secured better rates. Some of the things that were adjusted in cost rates were the DJ for Plaza, band for golf, and then the rental cost that would include tent, stage, tables, chairs, linen, and lighting. So with the updates and the projected event outcomes are as follow. So if we hosted 2 events, Plaza projected lost revenue would be about $160, and golf projected lost revenue would be about $2,800. If we just have a single event at the Plaza, it's a projected revenue of about $628. So really, we're already working and moving forward with all the plans at the Plaza since that one was already approved. So basically, what the board needs to review today is whether they are also approving a golf one, so we can go ahead and make those adjustments, or if it's only going to be the Plaza one, so then we can, plan for that process as well, because they're going to look a little bit different whether we have 1 or 2 and on how much we're ordering and how we're setting each event up.
Okay, my thoughts to this, and I'll pass it on to the rest of the board. As I kind of mentioned with the code of conduct, I think we have a community that's in discord at the moment. So one way to try and bring everybody together would be to have one event here at the Plaza. I know some of the golfers don't particularly like to come up to the Plaza for that, but I think in years gone by, we've had one event, it's been successful, and the vast majority of people have attended that party. Couple of other comments, we can open up the pool deck, the upper and lower pool decks, we can have food stations down there, we have a mobile bar down there, which we did in the 2021 turnover. We also did when we opened the Plaza up in 2019. I'm also concerned, Debbie, about the pricing you've indicated in terms of your calculations. Last year we had $35 per adult, $10 for children. The calculations you provided is based upon a $60 rate for adults and $35 for children, which I think is way too high. If you're looking at a household of 2 adults, 2 children, that's going to cost them $190. That's before they even buy any drinks. So I'm sorry, I think that calculation needs to be reviewed and re-looked at. I mean, we can always consider in 2026 alternating it. Golf club has it 1 year, the Plaza has it another year. The other thing we also need to take into consideration is there's going to be construction down at the golf grill. As Stephanie sent out recently a memo to say that will take several weeks. So several weeks takes us into New Year, so we could be in the midst of a construction site whilst, trying to hold a New Year's Eve event down at the golf club. So that's just my thoughts on it.
We've talked about the price being $60 or $65 and so forth. What's the possibility of in the adult tickets that they have 2 trend tickets with that? That way it somewhat brings down that cost. First of all, I also think that we need to purchase the tents because we have other events throughout the year that we can utilize these tents for instead of having to rent them every single time we have another event. As far as where to hold it, I'm fine with holding it in both places, but if it makes more sense for all to have it at Plaza, then I would support that.
And I know when I spoke to Debbie about pricing, we looked at what the Oasis charged last year and they were $63 for an adult. So I think New Year's Eve generally carries a premium price, but that's something that could be looked at. Debbie, how many people can we actually fit at the plaza?
Do you mean for the pool deck area?
Well, hopefully it won't rain, but again,
I mean, we can definitely fit more than the 200 people out there. It just depends of what type of seating we actually have to put.
because for the food that we had last year, you have to sit, you can't stand and chew on a lamb chop.
It's definitely a whole different menu this year.
And I mean, the reason I've always pushed for the 2 venues is because of room. And if originally this was 150 number here, so if you've got a couple coming, that's 2, so 75. And then you've got people coming, so next go before you know it, you've got 60 families coming for New Year's Eve, and the rest of the people have to go somewhere else. So that's why we pushed the 2 venues. But if they can fit in 200 people here, and once our weather stays fine, well then that's fine. But we will have to make sure that there's facilities here that we have in case it gets cold or wet.
Yeah, I think everything's been said. I mean, obviously weather is the variable, right? Cold and rain. I think we can deal with the cold a little bit with the heaters that we have, but the rain in either location, depending on your tents and if you have sides to those tents. I think the last tent we bought, I'm not sure it had decent sides. But yeah, I would be in favor of the plaza approach, and to the extent that we can figure out how to put those heaters across the pool deck, provide some level of shelter and seating, I think that's a good outcome.
Yeah, as it relates to the 2 tents. I think one makes sense, the other one, buying 2 at this time, I'm not sure, because we are doing the expansion or the enclosure down at golf. I think we need to see how that works out, but I think we do need a tent. We had one, and then the storm took it.
We do have one large one right now that's stored in the cart barn.
Well, then we don't need any more. Yeah, you sure? Oh, do we?
I don't know.
It just arrived.
He's right.
Oh, that's why
Oh,
Yeah.
Is that the member?
we bought a tent.
I guess we do. Yeah.
Okay, I did not know we bought a tent. Okay, so as it relates to the New Year's Eve, it sounds like we're in agreement of one event at the plaza.
Can't just allow, we can't facilitate 75 families, sorry. It's not just saying we're gonna have it at the plaza, we have to have a plan that we are gonna be able to facilitate more than 75 families.
I thought I just heard 200. Well, not 75 families, I don't know how many.
Yeah, well, I'm taking 75 families from 150 people, 2 adults, whatever, so are we, it might be a case that we have to put some sort of tenting down on the pool decks in case of the weather. I don't know, but that's what I'm asking,
I don't know.
I mean, we can work out those logistics. I think that right now, the reason why we're just not moving forward is because we don't know what the night is gonna look like versus 1 versus 2 events. Because if we did it at golf, then we wouldn't need coverage here at the plaza. But if we decide on one event, then let let Adam and Debbie and I and the team like work on the logistics of figuring that out for the plaza.
Well, seeing that we have a new tent now, how does that affect the cost?
Well, the 2,000 was already taken off of this when we got those numbers. So I'm assuming we bought a tent for how much money?
The 2,000, I think, was for the two tents.
$10,000.
Okay, so, and now we have one, so wouldn't that just be 1,000?
So it should be 1,000 less, I would think.
But that's not coming off this number. That number of the loss of 2830 or 3686 has it baked in that we are. So the loss of 3,686 has us buying two tents baked or included in that number. So if we didn't buy it, we'd have to rent them. The loss would go up to 5686. So since we already have one tent, right, which I didn't, we're gonna be 3,686 loss doing it, plus $1,000 on a tent that we just barely bought.
Yeah, but that's, I think the tent that is probably being used for the member Veterans Day, the Thanksgiving scramble. It's not just for the people here.
I know that. I'm not, even if these were bought for the New Year's Eve, it wouldn't just be one and done. I mentioned last year's one was, but that's a different issue. But I think that's a red herring, though. If we get back to, do we want two or one events? The renting of the tent is almost immaterial to this calculation. I think we've had our, is there any other comments then by the board? No? Okay, so then, do we have to motion this or do we just table it?
That's to make a motion to just keep it to one event.
Right, I'm gonna make a motion to keep New Year's Eve to one event at the plaza, where you're gonna maximize the number of spaces. You guys do your get together and then move back to the board on how many people you can get. Right?
I think that would need to be a or that the sketch, the one person that you're gonna have to go to.
Yeah.
So that's gonna have to go over.
And I'm sorry, what?
Do the numbers quickly. Figure out how many people you can get into the plaza. Right, but.
Yeah.
Right, so do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Alan?
Aye, yes. Are we leaving the price point where it is though? Because that was the other issue.
So based on the feedback, what I'll do is the spreadsheet that I sent to you guys, I'll go ahead and adjust and do several price points so you guys will see where the NOI or the loss is at, and then we can kind of go from there. I could do that by the morning.
Okay.
Perfect.
And just before we get to the next item, just a reminder, the plaza is closed on December 31st. We had passed that 2, 3 board meetings ago to allow for the setup and maybe not put the staff and homeowners under a huge amount of stress. So that means if you have a $900 annual food credit, that will now expire on December 30th. Right, so just maybe e-blast, Stephanie?
Yes.
Again, I know you just said one, but.
I think you should have it sent out a few times, but.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we will.
They will.
I think
Every Friday update.
every week here, you should take to say, just remember, your $900 expires in that area.
Got it. Yep.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the second public play day of the week. Clearly, there's 7 days in a week. So we're limited to 7. Thursday is already a public play day, so we're down to 6. My view on this is that it should not be on Saturday or Sunday. I think we have too many families, people that work, and that's their only time to be able to enjoy the amenity. So now it sounds as if we're down to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Friday. And I'm gonna turn it over to the rest of the board, whoever wants to opine on this.
Well, just out of practicality, Tuesday is the ladies' league, I believe, Wednesday is the men's league. So that just leaves Monday or Friday, and I think the least impactful to the members, I assume, would be Monday.
So just remember,
They're organised games,
in order
not
to
leagues.
discuss, you need to make a
They're not leagues, they're organised games.
motion needs to be made.
Monday and Friday are just organised games, they're not leagues.
Your Robert's rules, for sure.
Sorry?
Needs to be, you can do like an introduction, but in order to do the discussion, you need to make a motion.
Oh,
All
sorry.
right, so then I motion that we
Open forum, yes.
we talk about the second public play day, considering any one of the 7 days of the week,
Okay,
all right?
I'll second that motion.
All of it, okay, so now let's have our discussion.
You heard my comments.
I'm more tending towards a Monday, to be honest with you. I think in the weekend, a lot of folks do take 3-day weekends. It usually starts off on Friday. Are some that do Mondays as well. But I think Friday typically is the typical day that individuals will take a 3-day weekend. Plus, holidays are typically right around that same time as well.
What time will the public be able to book tea times from? Will it be from early in the morning, or can it be from 11 AM or 10 AM Monday, if it's gonna be a Monday?
Do we already do? I get that.
So they already have access from 11 AM on every day of the week. A public play can put tea times at 11 AM. So this would be bringing it down to 7.
So the Monday would mirror to the current Thursday. So they would be identical in all regards. But there was something that was said at the Meet the Candidates last night about 9 holes. And it would seem to me that if we, on these public play days, they're all going off T1. There is no shotgun, there's no modified. Now, of course, I don't know Ethan's maintenance schedule, but there might be an opportunity to open 9 holes starting on 10T for members only from 7 AM to I don't know, 8 o'clock. I don't know what the time would work out to be. Maybe it's 8:30, and then they could play the back 9, and we could come up with a rate for the trail fee would be any change, but maybe the NTF and the CRT is a 9-hole rate number that we could go off at 7 to I just pick 7 to 8 for it. And then that way they'll be out of the way of the 7 o'clock people that teed off on 1. They'll never get there in time. And that would open up additional times in the morning on those 2 days for member play. So, Alan, do you have a view on this?
Actually, I like that idea, James. Yeah, I mean, as far as the public play day, I prefer not 2 in a row. So like, I wouldn't want a Thursday and Friday, even if Friday was more lucrative. So I think by default, we almost fall to Monday.
Okay.
How far in advance does it open up?
So, so currently on Thursday, the contract that or the agreement that we executed with Tea Times USA is they can book 365, so they can book a year in advance.
So I mean, open up to.
Or it'd be a mirroring Thursday, so that's 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock and after it open to the members 14 days in advance. Members book anything that's unused prior to 2 o'clock, 5 days in advance. And now we're gonna see if Ethan can make the 7 to 8 o'clock-ish time work teeing off on the back line, which the members would just book that 14 days in advance. I have no idea how 4Ts will handle that. That's like a new thing. That's why we said if it worked for Ethan. And then we'll go from there. So that's
What about?
bank holiday. What do we do on Thursdays now?
So I can't know what the question.
She asked, what about a bank holiday?
yeah, a lot of.
So,
Weekend, so a long weekend in most places with Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday.
Right.
So it's.
when we talked about Labor Day,
If it falls on a Monday, it would still just be a public day. I mean, you wouldn't be able to change it.
we could walk them.
You can block,
You
right?
can block what's not used, but if we release it to golf now, if we update the Tea Times USA contract to say Monday is an additional public day, and people book out 365 days in advance, and a holiday of next year, Labor Day, is all booked up, we can't block it. That makes sense.
So we have member this weekend,
Correct.
and we have no public that booked at the time that they're playing. How did we do that?
So we could block the T sheet for that, but I'm saying if we don't block it today, like right off the bat, that Labor Day, even though it would fall on a Monday, or Memorial Day, Veterans Day, those traditionally fall on Mondays.
Right.
We say that holidays are reserved for members only, then yes, Ben could block that ahead of time.
And I think we need to do, I think we need to do that.
Yeah, we do.
Okay,
So I don't know, whatever you just said to do, that's what I think we want to do.
so any federal holiday,
Falls on a Monday.
Is a federal holiday and a bank holiday considered the same? Yeah, so,
generally, yes.
all right, so just, we list out the holidays.
Okay.
Gotta go from there.
So Monday is going to be so the motion then would,
So what did we do for Thanksgiving then? It's the Thursday.
Thanksgiving's open.
Open to public?
It's a public day on Thursday.
Yeah, we don't, I think.
So
Maybe not block all of that out for them?
if there's a scramble, if there's an event, if there's a member event. Ben, help me out here. If there's a member event, it's already blocked.
Yeah, it's blocked a year.
So we can block it, we can block all of the federal holidays that fall on a Monday.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, and I think
Okay.
that's what we should do.
Thursday too.
And that's all we want.
There's only-
Just be
It's only one, it's Thanksgiving.
There's Thursday.
Could be Christmas or New Year's.
I think Christmas, yeah, that's true, yeah, Christmas and New Year. We should, yeah. Any holiday that falls on a Monday or a Thursday, we should be blocking for 2026.
Right, I'm making it too.
Right, this is the most complicated.
All right. Okay, so if I understand the motion then, it's Monday is going to be the additional public day. With an exception of a holiday, all holidays, it would be blocked out for public. Except for the times that are already available for the public, right? Because there's times already available on Monday for public.
From 11 till 2.
Correct.
Yeah.
Understand, I just don't want people to understand that it's not blocked all day long. There are current available tea times for the public on a Monday that are in place. That contract has been signed and approved by the board already for those tea times. So the motion would be for Monday to be the extra play day with the exception of holidays and the open time slots that are currently in the Tea Times USA contract, even if it's a holiday, would be available for public.
And we would also block out Thursdays, where it falls as a holiday.
Okay, so. That's fine. That's a recap of the motion, Stephanie.
Who's making it?
I'll make it.
I'll second.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I think we also need to put a time frame. Let's evaluate.
Oh, yeah,
Time to see.
yes, you gotta evaluate this. So this is gonna take a month to kind of work its way through the system, because you probably already have some.
Well, we have to notify Tea Times USA of the change and
All right, so then why don't we also put in there where we reevaluate the success of the Monday play day up to, let's take busy season, go to March 31.
When does it start?
What?
When effective date?
It's 3 months, isn't it?
Yeah, effective from January 1.
Well, it'll be, we don't know, because as,
Go through much.
how long?
yeah, but
You guys get to pick the start date. I mean, it was contingent, this public play day was contingent. It was a contingency of the approval of the budget.
Yeah.
So effectively, the budget is 1/1 of 26.
okay, so then,
Date of adoption, you guys have to put that in the motion.
so then, right now, you have November 6th, so 14 days from now is already November 20th. So you're already past that, because those sheets are already open. Right, and then you gotta get the message out. So it sounded like January 1.
January 1,
It sounded like January 1.
evaluate March
So then-
31st.
Do you want to do like a 5 month, so take it out to 5/31 for the evaluation period or April 30th?
But I think you need to go to March 31, because you're gonna have a spin off over to partway through April, because you won't know March 31 numbers. And then you gotta unwind it, so you'll end up with that. If it doesn't show the numbers we're looking for, it'll take a month to kind of get yourself out of there. Now, keep in mind, since we're opening it, we're reevaluating it March 31st. You're opening 365, so you might get bookings in Monday
At the end
in November
Right.
of 2026.
Right.
Right, which is just something we're gonna have to work around. Okay, do we need to modify the motion anymore?
I got it.
Yeah.
I think we're all under an agreement of what it is.
Well, that's it. All right, do we have a second?
Yeah, I second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous consent.
Okay. Oh, that's good. All right, so the last thing, Stephanie, is open forum.
Before we do that, actually, can I just? When we look at the 9-hole rate, when I first seems for individual work, looking at the trans weeks and stuff.
So for the Monday and the Thursday?
No, not just for members, for us during the, any day.
Wouldn't we need 48 hours to discuss
I
it?
know it's not on the budgeting, for what we, what the trans week, yeah.
Please consider it, right?
Yeah.
Put something
So
together.
I'm not clear on.
A 9-hole rate,
So,
instead of paying for 18, like right now you pay $31 if you don't have
Oh, for the car.
a trail fee, whatever.
Gotcha, okay, I'm.
so we used to have a 9-hole rate, and what was that? Michael Blair was the general manager. And what they found, or he found, was that people would pay the 9-hole rate. They'd keep going from 9 through 10, right? Actually, I think it was you that found that out, right? And, sorry, that Dan Moran. And it became a bit of a problem because now you have staff trying to drive down 10 to find out who shouldn't be on 10, and it was, but having said that, we kind of have a 9-hole rate. We do it by the twilight. In the twilight, have you changed the twilight with the clocks changed, by the way?
I paid the average, I paid $18 cheese.
And what time of day? Cause like it's dark now at 6
Yeah, I
o'clock.
know, I know.
It usually, I thought it's 1 o'clock? Yeah, so at 1 o'clock you pay, I don't know, 17 or 18 or whatever the number is. So I think the 9-hole on the back 9 works because they can't get to T1. Right, so I think, and we're gonna make it for members only, if it's workable.
Well, if they don't, are not our carts registered, not ours, but some carts, can't they see where they are, of course?
They can, do you? But how would you, the question probably really is if, on the GPS system, you can see one of our club cards where it is, so if they only paid for 9. How do they know to look? Like the whoever's in the pro shop would have to remember everybody what card.
Could have someone stand on the turn.
So why don't we do this? How about you, yeah, now we're paying another human.
Well, you're paying enough of them, there's all sticking around anyway, so.
So why don't you go back and look, see if you can come up with something that is possible.
Can't you do the geofence so that after hole number 18, car doesn't go anywhere else?
Right, so that would work on the CRTs, but if you're an NTF, you don't have anything on.
Have you received the best of rate for first hole?
Yeah, just loop back around, play 10 again. That's what they're gonna do. Is that what they're gonna do, Dan? That's what they were doing. To see if you can come up with something. I don't know how you police it, but you're gonna have to figure there's something workable with that.
What do we have?
But-
So a question online is, would the 9 holes be open to everyone, or does men's group get to block the times? It should be open to everyone,
Everyone.
yeah.
We don't even know if we don't know if the 9-hole work, but we have to try to keep them first, right? Now, it does have the opportunity to work in the winter. Because there's less cutting of fairways, which is why the current Monday game is a 9 o'clock shotgun, but it may or may not work. So I guess we'll find out. That's up to Ethan. Want to handle the questions? Open for it.
So, thank you. All right, folks, we're gonna move to the open forum section. We've got 30 minutes in total. Any homeowner wishing to speak has 3 minutes. And it must be about an agenda item. And introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Severio. Everybody knows me as Lefty, but my question was regarding the plaza profit and loss. You got $236,000 unused money. I don't think you should be able to use that towards the offsetting the loss. I think you should only use the margin. So in other words, if I forfeit $75, you probably didn't spend 50 to buy and deliver what I would have bought for the $75. But yet you're showing that entire amount as offsetting losses. So that should not be used. I know it's revenue, but that should not be used to determine the profitability of the operation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Only the margin.
Anybody else? No.
Hello, good evening. First off, I just want to say thank you for changing the date back on the golf cart parade. I thought the whole point of save the date is save the date. And I know myself and many others, right now my December's booked out, so changing that was very disappointing for me, so thank you very much. Secondly, my question on that is, I'm very disturbed that I get weekly emails about what the food special is, what this is, and then the date is changed for one of the biggest events in this community, and no email is sent out. That's very, very disturbing to me. There's many people who love this event, have family coming in for this event, and for the date to just carefully being updated as at the bottom of the November calendar, here's what's coming for December. I don't know who did it. I'm not pointing fingers. All I'm saying is that lack of transparency is what causes a lot of divide in this community. So please, if you're gonna change I don't care if it's the second Saturday of the month, the third, but if we save the date, keep the date. People plan events around it. I know I have family coming in for it, and I don't wanna have to tell them to try to change an airplane ticket because somebody decided to change it. And the fact that it was done kind of with no one knowing, had one of my friends not noticed it, I still wouldn't have known about it. So I do think that there needs to be an answer for that. Secondly, over this last week, I feel like there's been a lot of turmoil here. And I just want everyone to remember, we all have a lot going on in our personal lives that not everybody is aware of. I know I do. I know everyone sitting here does. And we've got to be more respectful because it's causing divides. And this is not the community I moved into. We have got to respect one another and realize that we may not know what's going on in that person's situation. And if you do have a question or a problem about it, go directly to them one-on-one. But let's not do things to broadcast in front of others. I love it here. My friends have become family. I travel with them. I do holidays with them. I want that to continue. So thank you.
How you doing, guys? Fitzenberg. Just a quick question on the golf equipment. We passed the budget on Monday. What was in the budget for replacing the golf equipment? Must have been foreseen. And I don't know if Alan wants to answer that or James does.
I know you. Alan, you want to take this?
Sure. So Finn, what's in the 2026 budget, I believe is $5,000 for club rental replacement. If that's your question.
No. The Ethan's equipment were.
Oh, Ethan's equipment. So the lease,
Alan, go a bit slower, it's hard to understand.
sorry, the lease payment is budgeted for. And we estimated the increase based on the first quote we got for a half-year convention, because originally the thought was it would come in June 30th to July 1st. So in the budget is an estimate of an increased value of the equipment lease.
What's the variance? Is there a variance or is it back on? Is there not?
So the,
There would actually be more money in the budget, given that Ethan is changing it from June to October. So the first, whatever it is, 6 months of the year, it's at 14, whatever that number is, thousand. Then it was carrying for the last 6 months at whatever it was, 20,000 and change. But that 20 now, as we heard from Ethan, isn't really starting in June, it's starting in October. So you're probably gonna have a positive variance to budget pending the interest rate that they're gonna charge us.
How much James didn't budget, if it's 20,000 plus interest, probably not. Close.
So I'm not sure if you heard that, so the
No.
question is, if we had, what's in the budget for Ethan's equipment lease? If it's 20,000 plus interest, is the amount close for 2026?
So we should be covered in 2026, right? Because I think we added $35,000 to the equipment lease budget for Ethan. Assuming this equipment came in, I think it might have been June 15th that we used the date for.
Yeah.
So what's the hold if we have, if we're covered, can we not replace the order?
Well, we don't know what the interest rate is. What happens if they come back and tell us it's 27%? We don't know. That's the problem with this thing. We don't know.
So it's similar to our insurance, right? So the insurance broker will say estimate 8% or 10% or whatever, and that's what we put in. But we don't know until we start getting the renewals for the insurance premiums what it will be, right? So we could have a surprise to the upside or a surprise to the downside. It's our best guess at the point in time when we put the budget together.
Great.
Yes, Tom Phelan here. In regard to a couple questions in regard to Monday play. One, since you've already decided this ahead of time, what is the marketing plan? Are you gonna put in place? Are you reopening all the Golf Now, the USA Tee Times? Are you opening those contracts and renegotiating since we're giving them more volume to the Monday play?
So Golf Now, we would just load the tee times with and we set the pricing, so there's nothing for them to do.
Resetting pricing?
Well, he sets the pricing. So he does that. Like, how often do you set the pricing on Golf Now? Well, they want to hear you.
That's more than I need.
So we set the Golf Now prices, kind of basically quarterly, depending on the public rates we determine.
So if we're gonna do that, we should at least maximize the revenue of those days and not give our horse away. So I don't wanna see Golf Now at $35 a rate.
Well, when did you see that? When did you see that, Tom?
I'm just giving a number.
Well, but let's not.
James, I will show you when I see it.
Okay, all right.
And I think our golf course is undervalued and we're putting low rates out there. So if we're gonna lose a day, then we need to maximize that revenue. That's all I'm saying.
But I don't think anyone's disagreeing with that.
I'm just saying, I wanna make sure that we have benchmarking rates and we're competitive to other courses.
But what do you think the rate should be for tomorrow?
Over $100.
For tourists, why don't you have a central?
I don't know.
Stock rates
Whoa,
every day, okay?
okay, that's good.
You can have resident rates, you can have.
Wait, no, hold on. We still have Tom's,
Yeah.
Tom still has the floor. So let's,
Second question, what do you do? Well,
the marketing.
The marketing, what's the marketing plan?
That's you guys.
I mean-
Me.
They don't have one.
well,
Well, we do have a marketing plan, and that would be to amend the contract with our wholesalers, who are our biggest driving force for our Thursday current public play. So the marketing plan would be to go back to them, let them know that we are opening the tee time for Monday, then mimics our Thursday play. And then they would market the plan. We've invested $10,000 as part of their advertising to be on their website. So that way we are a premier club when somebody goes to their website to look for a booking. So we would mimic the current marketing plan that has been successful for the club on Thursdays. We do that on Monday. And then they would sell those out to us at the wholesale price. As far as the Golf Now, we control that ourselves. So there is a distinction between the wholesale pricing and the golf account pricing. But we would just mimic the current marketing plan for the Thursday on the Monday.
Well, that was time.
Can I make a suggestion and can I get an agenda item on next month's board meeting that we have a presentation? By First Services of what the marketing plan is, what the rate structures are going forward Mondays and Thursdays.
Can't do that. We don't have any clue who the board will be.
What's that?
Don't have any clue who the board will be. We can't put it in.
So the other, I'm requesting it to be put on the agenda, reflected in the minutes, if this becomes.
So really quick,
is time.
so really quick, just to answer your question, Tom. The Thursday pricing for 2026 was approved in a board meeting, so that has already been. Then that's already been decided for 2026, so. I would think that we would just mimic that for the Monday play for the January, February, March rate. That's currently listed for Thursdays, because that was approved in a board meeting previously. I don't remember exactly which board meeting, but the wholesale contract was approved in a board meeting in 2025. For that pricing.
John,
Next
what
question.
should I see, what Monday would be as a premium?
Do this together.
Harry, because Monday is a premium day, the end of the weekend, people who come here on a long weekend, I think we should probably look to load up Monday. With regard to rates, I mean, we can reduce them, but you have to push that market out, and we see what we can get.
I mean, that's fine if you.
Whoa. What was it? I couldn't hear.
She asked if we can evaluate the rates for Monday, since it's changed in the contract. I would believe that we would have the ability to go back to the wholesale, to the Tea Times USA and say, we are going to open Mondays as a public day at X price. So if the board would like, we can go back, like we evaluated the pricing for the wholesale contract for you guys for the board meeting. We can go back to that research and come up with a price and a suggested price. And then you guys can put that on an agenda meeting or a board meeting. Fair? I mean, we have time to roll this out, right? So.
I think. Members are going to get a lot of pain because they're losing Monday golf. So it needs to be something special to make up for the pain of losing Monday golf. So we're getting a premium price for a 3-day weekend golfer coming in. That's what we should do. We shouldn't be, there should be no cheap public play on a Monday.
You guys have any comments?
First of all, Golf Now has dynamic pricing, so you can talk to Golf Now and start using their dynamic pricing. So when you get busy, the algorithms, AI will raise the prices. You don't need to give this golf away to people that don't belong here. Or who I should talk to, because you guys don't know what to do price wise either. $100 should be the greens fee here, not 59, not 49, not 69. The reason they have to, again, give away all our play. Ben's budget, he spends too much money. Love you, you're great. Today I was there, you had 10 people around. That's not right.
Really quick, excuse me, really quick, you have to address the board.
Okay,
Comments
you had
from the
10
board.
people there. There were 4 in pro shop, 4 cart guys, and 2 guys sitting on the first tee. It's not right. That's why they gotta open this place up. Ethan, great guy, love him. He needs the $1 million of equipment. You do not want your old stuff. There's some different rough mowers you can look at buying. Toro was giving you a free rough mower. Okay? Ask them why I'm buying these really expensive rough mowers. There's rough mowers that they can buy that don't cost $100,000. You cut the rough all summer when nobody's here. Don't spend 200 grand on rough mowers. You guys have to know what questions to ask. Please stop laughing, okay? You are running this place into the ground. Your board, your management company has no idea how to run golf courses. Spending $500,000 or $600,000 too much between Ben and the golf course maintenance. That's why this place is turning into a public affair. You don't need to supplement golf for all of Polk County and all of Osceola County. This place should be for the members. Manage it correctly. Stop wasting my money.
No, I'm good. Good. Do we have any more questions? Any more questions? For the audience?
Sir.
Okay,
You wanna go to online questions, Stephanie?
We don't have
We
it.
don't have any. Perfect.
okay, with that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
I-
How do you turn this off?
Went so long. Take over.
You turn it off.
Oh, that's very fine. No, no, it's okay. It's okay. That's what I'm paid for. I hear you.
Stephanie,
I love it.
you killed us?